Sup, Sexy Peas? Welcome to Sexy Peas, recipes to give you confidence in the kitchen. This week's drink is champagne. Nothing exciting about champagne. We have champagne glasses, which are their own specific glasses. They're very similar to a white wine glass, except they're thinner and taller, more conical, if you will, if you're an arborist. The only real tricky thing about a bottle of champagne is getting the cork out without losing an eyeball. It's very dangerous. So what I'm going to show you how to do it, it's very simple if you take a couple precautions. So the first thing you do is get the foil off. So the whole top of this thing is covered in foil. So we'll just pull that off. And if you want it to look nice, you can pull the rest of it off. That's no big deal. And you'll notice there's a wire cage that's around it, and on one side, there's a little tiny loop. If you pull that loop out, you can see it a little better. You just untwist it, and it gets wider and wider, and eventually it's wide enough that you can pull it off. See how easy it is? Just pull it right off of take it right off, see? Now here's the fun part. Number one, never shake the bottle of champagne up before you take the cork out, because you're gonna murder somebody, and murder is bad. If you wanna do it after you open it up for photos or just to soak somebody, that's fine, but don't do it beforehand. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our thumbs to force the cork off, but even that can still be dangerous. So what I do, just so nobody gets injured, is I'll put just a regular dish towel over top of it, grip it like I'm opening a bottle this way, and just twist it. And you can feel it as soon as you start twisting it, you can feel it start to come out, and there it goes. Just pops right out. I'll give you one precaution with champagne, a lot of bubbles. So when you pour it, don't think you're gonna fill the glass all the way up or you're gonna get champagne all over the place. So pour it real slow and let it grow. That's a terrible line. We're definitely editing that out. There you go. See how it goes? And then you can always add more in. You're gonna fill it up about 3/4 of the way. You're gonna spill some on the countertop. And that's it, there you go. Cheers. So our staples for this week is something called liquid smoke. This is impossible to find at your market, so go and ask somebody that's there. I can never find it every time I get it. A little tiny bottle like this will last forever. Second item is we're gonna use kosher salt with this recipe. It's a good thing to have on hand. You don't have to be Jewish to use it. You can be literally, I don't know, there's probably other religions, but you can be other religions or no religions. And then get yourself a set of champagne flutes. Again, don't pay a lot of money for them. Find them someplace cheap, like TJ Maxx or something like that. So our general rule for this week is not where I got my beef. There are a lot of pork. There are a lot of great local butchers in my town, and I visit them all the time, but I was in a huge time crunch yesterday, so I didn't go there. I just went to my local chain grocery store and got a pork butt. But what I should have done is gone to Frank's or some other similar local butcher, gone in, talked to them. As long as they know what you need, if you tell them what you need, what you're looking for, they'll get you something that is best for what you're doing. So learn your local butcher. That's my general rule. Learn a local butcher. And if you don't have one, go to butchering school, I guess. I don't know. Learn how to be a butcher. Our recipe this week is called Kalua pork, and it's one of the easiest and best recipes. I love this. I've been making it for years. It's super simple. You get a pork butt, which looks a little something like this, and you use a crock pot. This is just like the one we used in week 1 when we were making meatballs. So you take your pork butt. You only have 3 ingredients: the pork, the kosher salt, and a little liquid smoke, and that's it. There's no measuring, nothing. It's super easy to add together. So the first thing we're gonna do is, we talked about knives last week, kitchen knife, bread knife. This is just a paring knife. I'm just gonna use it to open up the bag that's containing our pork butt. So open it up. I like to do it right inside the container, and all the juices can fall in. It doesn't matter. That's not a problem, because we're going to use those juices later. There we go. Pull that out. Wad it up. Throw it away. Did I get out of, was I out of the picture? Because now I'm back. And I got pork juice. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a butcher, but I got it all over my hands. So I want to wash my hands off before I touch anything else, because I don't want to get anything on my liquid smoke or my kosher salt that's going to make it a problem for me in the future and make me sick. So we have our pork butt in our container. Get yourself a fork or a knife, it doesn't matter, either one, and pretend like you've got anger issues and just stab it. Okay, don't do that. Shut up, that wasn't funny. Okay. Okay, don't be so vigorous. I'm gonna flip this over so I don't get murdered. If the police show up, I'm going to jail for murdering a pig. A magical animal. Just stab it a whole bunch of times all over. Flip it around so you get all the sides. You're going to be washing your hands a lot with this one because it's a raw meat and it's pork. Just about as chicken. So make sure you get all serenity now. Serenity now. Mother, father. All right, continue stabbing the hell out of it. I don't even want to stab this side now. Such a mess. Good gravy. I'm going to have to get a new kitchen. All right. I'm going to wash my hands again. What a mess. I confess. All right. Back into it. Now, we're going to need our fork still, because we're going to need to spin this pork butt around while we're adding salt. Why is this wet? All right. All right, back at it. Everything's cleaned up. What we're going to do is we're going to salt every side with our kosher salt. There's an old saying that you can't add too much salt, and that's pretty much a general rule, but it can get a little salty. There's already some salt in there, but generally speaking, I add this much to every side. So not too complicated. See if I can do it without splashing anything in my face. Pretty good on all sides there. So that's our kosher salt. And then the only other ingredient is liquid smoke. And all you need is just a handful of dashes. This is several pounds of pork, so I'm going to probably put in 4 or 5 dashes of liquid smoke. And that's all it takes. There's so much flavor in it. Now for the easiest part and the best smelling part, we're going to put it back on our slow cooker, or we're going to put it onto our slow cooker, and we're going to put it on a slow cook. Don't put it on low. This has a warming setting. Some of them have a low setting. Put it on the lowest actual cooking setting that's not warming. And a pork butt this big is going to take about 18 hours to cook, so your house is going to smell great. So we're going to put it on to cook, and we'll see you in 18 hours. And you're going to be sad because you can't smell it because it smells amazing. Here's our toast for the week. Here's to those that have seen us at our best and seen us at our worst and cannot tell the difference. Cheers. Oh, that's delicious. If you want to go faster than the speed that we are going, or if you want to watch old episodes, if you want to get prepared for what you're going to need for next week's episode, you can go to sexapiece.com. It's spelled sexapiece.com. There's a link below where you can click on that. And enjoy the kitchen. We'll see you next week. Did you get the button pushed?
I did get
We
the
good to
button
go?
pushed, yep.
Okay.
This time.
Can we edit that? We can edit that, right? Long enough of a pause? I should probably pause a little bit longer just so you can have an easier time cutting it up. I can't deal with it. I gotta clean this up. We're gonna have to cut. All right, so this has been cooking for about 20 hours. I couldn't get to it at 24, so it's cooked for a little bit longer. This is all really hot, so be careful when you pull it off. I like to put something underneath it and I set it on the counter. I could have just left it in. I could have left it inside this and used this, but I opted to pull it off to get a little better view. At this point, it's ready to go. I wanted you to see how easily it comes apart. You can see the meat just falls apart at this point. You can often, there it is, just pick up the bone and pull it straight out. Nothing sticks to it. It's ready to go. What I typically do is run this through a strainer. Just run it through this type of strainer to get the grease off. And then load it up on your favorite kind of sandwich bread. Maybe Hawaiian bread, maybe, I don't care, anything you want. It's awfully good. Oh, by the way, you missed the best part. The best part about making this meal is walking back into the house after it's been cooking for 20 hours and just the smell of your house. It smells amazing. I highly recommend it. And it's super easy.